What is up, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Jeff Benjamin with 9to5Mac. So I have in hand here the Level Keypad. Obviously, I recently reviewed the Level Lock Plus, and as I promised in that review, I would be unboxing and reviewing this right here, the Level Keypad. Now, this is an accessory sold separately for about 80 bucks or so, and it'll work with Level products like the Level Bolt, the Level Lock Plus, etc. So inside the box, you'll find a little quick start guide, tells you what you need, what's inside the box, and also has a handy QR code that points you to the installation, and you'll find regulatory information, etc. Now inside this accessory box, you'll find several things, including this double-sided adhesive if you don't want to screw the Level Keypad into a surface, but you can. It comes with screws and drywall anchors, and the keypad just snaps right into the mount just like that, and you can see it's a nice flush fit. Now if you ever want to remove the keypad from the mount, you can do so just by pressing in this little hole with the paper clip to release the keypad. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove the battery door, and you'll also see a hard reset button inside that door, but notice the weather sealing that you get, so this is going to keep rain out of that battery door. So you can remove this little tab, uses a pair of AAA batteries, just insert like that, and once you do, you'll notice that the little checkmark button lights up in red, like that. So I have my Level Lock Plus already installed. You saw the video before, but now I'm going to show you how to install the Level Keypad. Now I'm going to install it right above the lock itself, just for the purpose of being able to showcase how this works on video. You may want to decide to install that somewhere else. It has a 20-foot range from the lock, so you can be somewhat flexible as far as where you install the keypad. So just keep that in mind. So I went ahead and applied the double-sided tape. Since I'm not permanently installing this guy, I just line it up like that to make sure it is level to the best degree possible just by eyeing it like that. And then press to make sure it sticks. So there we go, there's the mount installed. So on the bottom, you see that little divot right there. That is where you actually will press into that hole to release the keypad from the mount. And on the top, you'll notice where that little piece for the mount locks into place. So you just slide it up and press like that to secure the keypad. Now, like I said, if you ever want to remove it, you just use that little paper clip and remove it like that. But this is the Level Keypad installed. So while some may see it as a downside that the Level Lock doesn't have a built-in keypad, the upside is that you can be much more flexible as to where you mount the keypad. What do you guys think? Let me know. All right, so let's talk about configuring the Level Keypad. So on the Level Home app, you just want to go to Settings, scroll all the way down to Keypad, tap the plus button, and then start the installation. So it asks you to make sure it's powered on. Now it wants to pick a mount location, and again, you get a 20-foot range. So what this is going to do, it wants you to place the keypad where you plan on mounting it, and it'll tell you whether or not it's within range. Of course, mine is. And all of this, of course, uses Bluetooth for communication, so make sure Bluetooth is enabled. But you'll go through the install guide like that, and once you get to the end, it'll say, hey, found your Level Keypad, and it's already paired and ready to use. Again, this uses Bluetooth connectivity, so you have about a 20-foot range or so. So now it's going to prompt you to set up a code. So we'll just tap on that, and then we can add our own personalized code, 4 to 6 digits. So I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put in 5, 6 if you want to, but here for this little scenario, I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4 just to keep it simple. And then you want to give your code a name so you can know who that code's assigned to, or maybe it's the babysitter or whatever the case may be. So how long do you want Jeff to have access? So you can choose temporary access. So that'll let you set a starting date and time and an ending date and time for this code to be valid. So you save that. And now you can see this code has been added, so you can share the code if you want to. You can just use a share sheet, or you can just copy the code to your clipboard. And then here you can see one code is already there. It's been personalized. You can go in there, further tweak the code. If you want to change the name, you can. You want to change the passcode, you can. And if you wish to, you can even change the duration, so you can change it from temporary to always. Now, one thing that's missing in here is recurring. So if you wanted to set up like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday access, you can't do that, oddly enough, with codes, which I find is weird since you can do that with passes within the app itself. So that's kind of a weird thing. But I'm going to create some more codes out here. So there's Jim. I'm going to give him always access. And then done. And as you can see here, you can create lots of codes. I created about a dozen personalized codes. You can have all of those configured at the same time. So you can also go in there, update the firmware if you ever need to do that. You can view all your keypad codes. And what's cool is that when you actually use one of these codes, like I'm just going to use 1234, which is Jeff, and then tap the checkmark button, and then your activity history will actually show who unlocked your door because it's assigned to that code. So the level keypad is a pretty straightforward, simple accessory. You enter your code, you press the checkmark button, and it unlocks like that. Now, one little cool shortcut, if you press and hold the checkmark button, it will actually lock your door just like that. You can also enter the passcode and lock that way if you want to, but that shortcut's nice. Now, this keypad is totally touch. There is no haptic feedback. You do get the little backlight to indicate which key you've pressed, but besides that, there's no tactile feedback at all. The surface is actually really slippery as well, so there's really no way to discern where you're tapping without looking at the keypad, which, obviously makes sense, right? Now, what happens if you continue to enter the wrong code? Well, disappointingly, nothing. Like, I went in and entered the wrong code a bunch of times, and there's no threshold or no logic programmed into this keypad to block or reject code entry after so many wrong attempts. And this is something that I definitely think Level should add, at least sort of like a timeout threshold of a minute or so to prevent just a brute force attack on the keypad. So outside in basic overcast light, it's pretty easy to see the backlight on the button so you know which keys you press. And it's also really easy to see the backlight on the buttons when you're in complete darkness, as I am here. And you can just press that checkmark button to wake the backlit buttons so that you can see what you're entering. Now, what I did find difficult was seeing the backlit buttons light up in direct sunlight. I found that pretty difficult to see what I was pressing. These buttons would have to be a lot brighter to be able to accommodate for direct sunlight, so keep that in mind. Now, I also wanted to test out how the keypad worked with gloves, so there's my leather test glove. And you can't see it because I'm pressing the buttons and the glove is obscuring the backlight. Well, you see it there. It does work perfectly fine with the leather glove. Now, I didn't test all types of gloves, but with the leather glove, it works pretty well. So folks, I'm kind of torn over the Level keypad. This is an $80 accessory, and in its most basic functionality, it works perfectly fine. You unlock your door using 4 to 6 digit codes. But for $80, I don't know, there's simple things that could be fixed, like brute force prevention and having recurring access via codes. I also wish there was a little bit of a stronger backlight for bright sunny conditions. But to be fair, when it's doing its most basic function, allowing you to unlock your level lock with 4 to 6 digit codes, it does a pretty good job. And because it's not built into the lock itself, it's a little bit more flexible as far as placement. So what do you guys think about the Level keypad? Let me know down below in the comment section, and be sure to check out these other smart home related videos because I definitely think you'll like these, especially that Level Lock Plus review and that Slage Encode Plus review. You don't want to miss those. This is Jeff with 9to5Mac.